so you're wealthy.
No, but there you go.
Yeah.
Uh, such a lovely place to visit, and
Well, listen, Tony, I have a book out for Cambridge University Press, which I'm going to send you the link.
good.
Susan's going to send it. It just came out. Cambridge University Press, the hoity-toity of, academic literature, called Leon Battista Alberti in Exile, one of the great Renaissance guys ever. And he wrote the first modern book on painting. And I argue about how he came to write this book. So it's a rag on Tuscany.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, but I'm going to send you the link and you get it. But I envy you your name because I'm a Welsh, German, French, Scots, Northern European wannabe. So I live in Italy. I speak five dialects of it, but I have no blood at all, and you do.
I will adopt you.
Thank you very much. Yay.
Enough said. Enough said. First of all, I have a question for you on literature. Do you think we've lost our hunger for good books?
Yeah, yeah, I think we have. I think we've yes, look, man, it's everybody complains about screens and like probably the electronic and internet access.
Yeah.
But to read, uh, right now, my 13-year-old kid has to read two books over the summer, and he's reading them. And one of them is Lord of the Flies.
Wow.
And I said, okay, make notes. And he doesn't want me in his game. I said, listen, but mom is good. She says, listen, take dad's coaching because dad has to read, and that's what dad does on the side is literature.
Hmm.
So I said, when you finish a chapter, put the chapter title on it, and then do what we do in the method, but it's also a good breakdown for any story analysis is where, when, who, what. That's simple.
Yeah.
Time, right? I mean, place, time, character and circumstances. And so that's the thing that he's doing. And it's putting him back in touch with reading. But he's so used to not reading.
Yeah.
He's so used to gathering up the AI info. And I think it's a cheat, man. I just don't think it's a cheat because you could cheat on an exam. I just think it's like it's circumnavigating the experience of fantasizing the thing on your own while you're reading it. That's the best thing about reading.
Yeah. I'm a huge Faulkner fan. I'm a huge Thurber fan.
Thurber, wow.
The humor that he has is incredible. But yeah, to me, I think it's getting to be a lost art, and it should never have gotten to that point. Anyway, let's talk about Bang. What a
Fun
fun
movie,
movie this
fun.
is.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give anything away, but your character is so damned interesting. He's he seems to be a little bit like Lear in a way. I mean,
That's great. I wish you'd have said that before I started it, man. That's great.
yeah, he's his son, so to speak. Of course, is Bang,
Yeah.
but he's got such a great relationship, and then the twists and turns come from such a good script. Talk to me about him.
Okay, well, listen, here's the deal. The thing is based upon an episode that I shot for Hawaii Five-0, right? The whole
Yeah.
thing about having your heart transplant and having the change of heart, is the metaphorical arc of an episode of Hawaii Five-0 written by Lenkoff.
Hmm.
And so when Wick, the director, uh, and if you can say his unbelievable Thailand name, yes, I always mispronounce it. And I'm sorry, Wick. Yeah, Kayo Sayanada. When Wick and Peter came to me about it, Wick is a fantastic director with specificity and speed, velocity, which is great in a director. And Peter had arced this thing perfectly that I liked it because of the relationship. I mean, look, it's easy to jump into a bad guy suit and go start yelling at people, right, and threatening them or whatever. But the relationship between me and Jack Kesey was like the most important thing and the most fun of it. Because I've lost my son to what? What? I've lost my son to goodness, but to me, I've lost my son. So there you go.
That's quite an arc your character goes through, and we follow this as an audience, but again, it's a twisted script, and I love it. I mean, I just love stuff that surprises me.
Yeah. Not to quote the guy, but I will because I think he's my new best friend or new favorite dude. I'm prepping a movie and I'm not supposed to say what the name of it is, and it's all top secret stuff with David Fincher. And David Fincher was talking about this very thing, about the ending of a movie or the end of a scene that if it doesn't have an expectation and a surprise, an expectation and a surprise. We were talking about it yesterday. And Fincher's quite a smart guy, but Lenkoff is also a really smart guy in delivering not what is predictable. And that's the great thing about Peter Lenkoff. And Wick to execute that. No, but listen, Kazan said it best. Kazan said a movie is in it, not just in f-stops and shots, and focal lengths and so forth, but it's in the dynamic of the dramatic dynamic of written material.
Yeah.
And if that's not executed, then you got no movie, no matter how pretty it looks.
Yeah. Well, you've got special effects, and that's not a movie. You
That's
have
not a
to
movie.
have the heart, if you will, kind of a pun on this movie, but you have to have the heart and soul. It really is, and I know you love this. I mean, it is like jazz. You cannot do it without understanding how it breathes.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is that the other thing about jazz when I'm acting, this is not a heavy duty, touchy feely actor studio method metaphor. It's just the truth. Thank God my mother never let me stop playing music. I did put it down and picked it up again, now playing a quintet. And I'm certainly not Miles Davis, man, or Lee Morgan, but when I'm improvising, I know that I am burying myself into
Mhm.
instantly composing out of my heart or my mind or whatever is soul. And I don't know where the thing is going to end up. That's the point. That's the beauty of jazz. I don't know the end. Maybe it ends up on a bunch of clams, bad notes. Maybe ends up in genius. But I was just using this very metaphor as like one of the tunes. We play a couple of Wayne Shorter tunes, my
Mhm.
quintet and I. These are all top-notch studio guys I play with who make me look good. But one of them is a Wayne Shorter tune called Footprints. And the bass player, Ryan Cross, very well-known bass player in LA, said, you know what? We ought to start this movie in chaos, man. Just start playing bombarding the audience with whatever the hell we want, man. And we'll
Yeah.
find our way into the I was going to say into the movie, but which we do, and then take it from there. So the momentary uh that purging of feeling in jazz is what makes a good movie too, man.
It does. And carrying this metaphor just one step farther, you as an actor have to find the rhythms and cadences in the roles that you play.
Yes, I got to find the rhythms and cadences, but basically I got to find out what do I want in this scene. Forget the ending of the movie. Forget whether or not I get what I want at the end of the movie. But right now, in the drama, in the collision, it doesn't matter whether it's comedy or tragedy or action or adventure. Right now, I want to convince the girl not to leave me, or I want to convince the guy not to pick up the gun and shoot the dog. Or somebody's trying to get me to do it, and I'm trying to back my way out of the room. I cannot play the end.
Mhm.
That's the thing. And sadly, what you go back to reading, the great thing about reading is that you haven't checked it out on the internet. You're not like, jumping to the end. You're reading it, you're fantasizing it as James Thurber is writing about, the kid or whatever. And so you don't know the end. Maybe you do, but while you're reading it, you don't.
Well, you're going on that journey with
Yes,
him, and you're hearing
it's
it
the
in
journey.
yeah,
Yes. So
uh,
the character has to go on the journey too.
yeah, and there's too much foreshadowing in a lot of these movies where this was just beautifully handled, just beautifully done, and enough seasoning to keep it interesting and not go the other way. So that's why I like this movie. It
I'm
goes
glad you
back.
do, Tony.
Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead,
enough
please.
seasoning. It's great, Tony. That's great. Just enough seasoning. Yes.
Yeah, and it goes back to the 70s, those great films of the 70s that you didn't know what was happening until the very, final reel, and then you guessed wrong. So
Yeah. 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 It gets wrong. one of my mentors in directing, and he was a great friend most of my life, was Billy Friedkin. And I never
Oh
got
my
to
God.
do movies with Billy Friedkin, but I had dinners and dinners and dinners with him. And in his book, Friedkin Connection, he's talking about one of the great movies ever made, French Connection. And because he was basically like shafted in a way by the studio, and they kind of gave him some slip money to go make the movie before Richard Zanuck got fired, they wanted the ending changed.
Hmm.
They wanted the come on, man, you just can't go into the black and you're a gunshot, you don't know what happened. They wanted a resolution with the good guy winning and the thing and la 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 la. And they demanded that it be cut. You got to read that book, Tony. It's mind blowing because he
I'm
sits
going
there.
to, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this: the movie was periodic. I'm paraphrasing, and Billy, we lost Billy a couple of months
Yeah.
last year. But he's told by the new guys who don't have anything to do with the movie. The movie's been released at a limited exposure. I think in England and France, something like that. It's through the roof reviews, and yet they want that ending recut before they do a mass release on it. They
Yeah.
want that ending recut. It's been clocked as a hit, but they don't want that ending. And I think it was the writer of the book who suggested it, but you could read Friedkin Connection, who said, you know what? Let's go into the editing room. Let's pretend we're doing it and not, and see what they say.
Yeah.
And they do. They go in the editing room. They don't touch a damn frame. They come out and said, oh, it's done. And they go, yeah, okay, it's good. We like it. So, I mean, who the F knows, man?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I gotta go. Susan's gonna get angry that I'm keeping you this long.
Any last question you want about Bang?
Well, just one more question, real quick, is what do you think audiences are going to take away from watching it?
I think they're going to take away what you watch. Is a great action thriller with a relationship. And I wish I would have thought about Lear before that because I was not thinking it. It's Shakespearean with a great surprise and some great, if I do say so myself, some thrilling acting and some thrilling action, but essentially a wonderful arc about the development of a human being, which is the best thing you can say.
My friend, I could talk to you for another hour, and maybe I will. I'll catch up on social media, and we'll continue this.
Well, Blab,
Yeah.
good. I
All
envy
right.
you your name. Please adopt me.
Tony Toscano, and you're now Peter Toscano. So there. Perfect.
I love it. I
Susan,
love
thank
it.
you for the extra time, hon.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Tony. Bye.